Okay. Teddy, I have written down what I think his game is going to be, and I'm going to show you real fast, okay?
Okay.
It's backwards, though. Can you see it?
Backwards? Read
No,
that
for me it is.
backwards? Oh, for me it's not. It's right.
Okay. That's my guess. That way we all know what I guessed, but I don't want Spencer to know. And then if Spencer, what do I get if I'm right?
I have to call you Alex the Prophet next episode the entire time.
There we go. What happens if I'm wrong?
You have to drink a gallon of fucking piss. That's what I want you to do.
Gallon of piss.
No, you have to. Is there something like gross you can eat, or not gross, but like just weird that you can eat or drink or something?
This is you're controlling the narrative here, buddy.
You have to write.
Open your eyes, by the way.
Oh, I can open my eyes now? I wasn't told.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've taken the thing away.
Okay. You have to write an essay on why I'm the smartest person you know.
Yeah.
Or just best person you know. You're just best. It doesn't have to be smart, but just
Okay.
because I don't want to limit to you
Best
just
person
how
you know.
great I am. So you should write it about literally everything you can think of.
Okay.
Whole page. Whole page.
Whole page.
One
Gotcha,
pager.
gotcha.
Double spaced?
No, single space.
Paragraphs?
It could be
Short
one
body,
paragraph as
go
long
on.
as it's one page.
Spencer, go ahead, buddy.
Okay, my game. God, now I'm gonna pick something crazy. No, I haven't. It's I should just go crazy and just to completely destroy you. But no, I won't do that. My game is Octopath Traveller 2.
Yeah!
What?
Octopath 2! Octopath 2. You can call me Alex the Prophet from now on.
No, for one episode.
Well, just next episode.
Next episode.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. How'd you know?
I listened to Friend Enemy Fire and I heard you were playing it, and I was like, I bet he's not talking about Octopath 2.
Yeah, that's right. I was on the Frenemy Fire podcast with the Console Kev. Make sure you check it out.
It's with the enemy.
We're always at odds. He and I. No, he's a very nice guy. But yeah. Octopath Traveller 2. It's the sequel to Octopath Traveller 1.
Is it a sequel to oh my god, hold on, wait, I just want to say they're doing a Square Enix sale on Switch, and I was like looking around and I was like, oh, Harvestella, that's cool. Triangle strategy. Various Day Life is the best name they've given you so far. That's my favorite one is Various Day Life.
It is the worst. It's by
the troll.
Far the worst.
It's so bad.
You know you're trolling.
It's so bad. It's so bad it kind of comes back around.
You know what's crazy? When I got both Triangle Strategy and Various Day Life for like $40 in a package deal on Steam. So I actually could be playing those now, and I kind of want to, but it's like they're so trolly, and Triangle Strategy has the most talking out of any game I've ever played in my life, and it was completely miserable. So,
oh no.
Part of me's like, I should just play that game and skip the dialogue. It's like, but what am I playing if I'm doing that? Like, am I missing 50% of the game if I skip it? So I don't know. Anyway, I'm here to talk about Octopath Traveller 2, as Alex has informed us beforehand. Good job. It is a turn-based RPG in the most classic of senses. It's made by the Bravely Default people. And it plays like it was made by the Bravely Default people in that it's focused on, well, I guess that's one of my big things about this game is that the Octopath series is a tale of two games to me. One side of it wants to be a story game, and the other side wants to be a grinding game. And a lot of good RPGs are able to combine those and have like a fluid system in place so that you get a little bit of one side, then you get a little bit of the other. Like you're excited for the next story element. Okay, it's happened. Oh, I need to get stronger for the boss. Let me go grind. I'll do that. And it fits into that. To me, the Octopath Traveller series has struggled to maintain that. I really, really like the grinding aspects and building out your party. I absolutely despise the storytelling in it. That was my story with the first one. And it's the very, very lazy storytelling in it. It's like you go to a town, you learn something about your character. He does this, and then you go to the dungeon that's to the left of the city, and then you finish it. Story over. Go to the next town. Same thing, but with a different character. The characters themselves don't really interact. They're just like blank faces that are like, "What's your name? Oh, okay. I guess I'll help you with your adventure." And you go on. That was my story with the first one. I was hoping that they would remedy that with the second one. They did not. It's the only thing that's really it's basically the exact same game. But the only real difference is the stories are a little darker, and there's a couple minor tweaks to the gameplay. Technically, there are sections where the characters will talk to each other about their different stories and stuff. That is it. Otherwise, it's the exact same game as the first one. The part I really love is the building elements, the grinding and building your team, because you can level up different jobs, and once you're able to switch jobs later on when you find them, and you can take skills from each job and apply it to your main character. So you can be a warrior, but have like a skill that you really like that comes from the hunter class, or maybe you have a mage, but the priest class has something that gives you a lot more mana. You can take that skill and apply it to your mage. So you can customize your party to be very overpowered and just have different, like a more flexible, skill set other than just what you would normally have as a warrior. So really, really like that. I love that about the series, Bravely Default, this series in general. I've always been a fan of that. What I don't like, what I found, and why I pretty much stopped playing, although I would like to pick it back up, is that I do all this grinding and I get my characters to a place I like them, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I have to go to the city and like play a story element. So then I'm like, oh my god. It's like, go to the city, and they're like, I can't even remember their names at this point, but they're like, warrior, thank you for coming back. Now you must stop the evil. I'm like, oh my god, I do not care. It's gotten to the point there's like none of the stories I'm particularly interested in, and because they're broken up by such long stretches of gameplay and other people's stories that I don't care about, I really do not care about these characters at all. It's a real big problem with this series that apparently a lot of people don't have. Like when this game came out, people are saying that this is their favorite RPG ever, and I am blown away by that. I'm like, really? I can't fathom why that would be.
No, I feel like that always happens though.
I don't know. I follow
The
RPGs.
Square Enix ones.
I follow
Bravely
RPGs.
Default, it was the same thing. People say, "Oh, Bravely Default, you got to play this." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, it looks fine.
Bravely Default's better than this. I don't think it's the best game ever or anything, but it's certainly better than Octopath Traveller. The other thing that Octopath Traveller has for it is that it looks gorgeous. It's done in a very classic RPG sense, so it takes like the nostalgia view of like 16-bit RPGs, but then adds a lot of really modern touches that make it look really, really nice. So I do got to say, the graphically, it's freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, they like christened it like HD 2D, right?
Yeah, and that's what they're doing to Dragon Quest. So I'm pumped because I don't need to deal with all the story shit in that. Dragon Quest 3 is going to be that style, and that is going to be fantastic. So I'm not scared about that at all. But this is a game I'm torn because I really like the graphics, I really like the gameplay. It's just placed onto 8 different stories that are all boring. And it's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. And people have said they like the stories, they're darker. I don't think darker means better. I like Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest isn't very dark at all. I don't think you need to have a dark story to be good. These stories are dark, and then you forget that they happened for like 10 hours. So, I don't know. Mixed feelings on it.
Yeah, that's so funny to me because like I remember whenever I never got around to playing it, and I kind of do want to play it, but like whenever Bravely Default came out, they had like a extended demo for it where it was like play for a bit and your progress carries over or something. And I remember the whole focus of that demo was just the gameplay and the job system,
Yeah.
and that was it. Like it wasn't focused on the story at all. So like to
Yeah.
hear this is kind of upsetting to me. I'm like, well, I'll play Bravely Default, but maybe I won't try Octopath.
I don't know. I think I'm too harsh on stories though in video games, because I think people have said that they really like these stories, and I don't
Maybe,
understand.
but
it.
there was something you were streaming. It was like this.
Yeah,
I
triangle
don't know if
strategy.
it was Octopath. Oh my god, when you were streaming that, it was wretched. It was like
Horrible.
20 minutes of dialogue, and they're literally talking about triangles. It was really bad.
Yes, that
It's
was
just the strategy of triangles.
that was triangle strategy, and it's literally why I haven't played it yet. I have the game now because I got it on like a mega sale, and I literally won't turn it on because I'm like, okay, I turn this on, I'm gonna have. I think in that stream it was an hour and 40 minutes, and an hour and 20 of it was dialogue. Like I that's no joke. That's no exaggeration. It was crazy.
Jesus.
And it's like with this game, it's not as much, but it's still like that same. Just these two characters are talking, and it's like why a good RPG integrates all this stuff. Like you have a battle, and then you learn something new, and then you go to this town, and there's this, and you have a battle, and this. This game, they're completely separate. The battles take place out here. Story takes place in the town. If you want story, you're going to go to the town. If you want battles, you just got to run around like a chicken with your head cut off. And they never intersect. It's to me, it's very sloppy, and I was very disappointed.
I think for like the common folk, or like the common folk, well, just for like most gamers, I guess, you know, the lower class gamers. No, I'm joking. For a lot of like just simple
commoners,
the simpletons out there, you know. Yeah. No, I think that they just, you know, they'll find a turn-based RPG that looks good and sounds good and has a functional combat system and be like, yeah, this is great. You know, and I think that's like kind of the syndrome with like this style of game, because it's like it's got the flashy 2D HD presentation. It looks like it's got a solid soundtrack.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm not hearing anything bad about the combat system. And then you have the Octopath gimmick, I guess, the 8 stories. So I guess people are just like, yeah, you know, I don't think they hold against the game.
Well, and I think you're right, and by that logic, it's very odd too, because you can say like it's got an Octopath story, so you can play the stories that you care about, but to really get everything out of the game, you have to play every story, like it's required. So it's like yes and no. I guess you could play the ones that you care about and like not really get your money's worth and not see the end content and whatever. But really you have to play all of them. So like why even do it? Like why present the option to play a fourth of the game? Like make that your selling point. Like isn't this great? You could only play 20% of this. It's like no, like I guess why would you do that? It's really a confusing game to me. I don't like it that much, and I wish that I liked it more because there's so many good things about it, but the story part is just terrible.
Yeah, the first Octopath, in a time where we're lacking a lot of newer, original, like classic style JRPGs. I mean, Final Fantasy 16 is coming out, and that's not even hardly even an RPG anymore.
Yeah.
It seems like to me like the first Octopath Traveller was seen as like a champion of like for like the RPG weebs, you know, like that was their champion. Like, oh no, but we have Octopath, you know, so RPGs are still alive. And to me, I never heard criticism of that game because it seemed like it was just like a free ticket, almost.
Yeah.
Like it is the classic RPG, so like you know, look, we got in our corner. And I'm like, yeah, but what's wrong with it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I haven't heard anyone say bad thing like that many bad things about the newer one. It's weird because the complaints about the old one are the exact same as the new one. Maybe people are just I don't know.
Those people who complained didn't play the next one.
Yeah, that might be it. I think that's a good point.
Could be true.
Yeah, they like
Could
they
be
just
true.
the fans are gone, and the only people that played 2 were the ones that liked it.
But net like offset positive.
That's a
reception.
good point.
Maybe, hear me out. Maybe everyone's just playing various day life.
That's probably it.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
I'm
Struggling
just
over
in a
here.
various day life simulation.
Yeah,
You know?
we're doing
Every
the
day I
grind.
wake up and I'm like, what day life am I gonna get today?
I want to make a bingo card of names and see what the next one they're gonna choose is. Just like start marking them off.
Happy go lucky B5. We have B5. Happy go lucky. Turn your cards.
It's like a numerous nightmare or something like
Well,
that. It's just gonna...
the names are always so descriptive, right? Like they're like various day life is literally like the most generic way to describe what that game is. It's like a life sim. So like if they had to do that to Final Fantasy, I wonder what they would call it. Like sword attacker.
Edgelord.
Yeah, Edgelord.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.